CRO-AM Connections, connecting with Croatian-Americans through conversation and events to share our culture. Today in our show, we have Peter Hazdovac. He is the general manager of Adriatic Travel and is an active member of the Croatian community in LA. He is from San Pedro, California. Thank you all for joining us today, and dobro nam došli. Today on our show, we have Peter Hazdovac. He is the general manager of Adriatic Travel. He is actively involved in the Croatian community in San Pedro and the LA area, as well as nationally with ACAP. Peter's from San Pedro, California. Welcome, Peter.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Really excited about this.
Yeah. I was jealous of your short sleeves because it's you said in the 80s over there right now, and we're sweating in the 50s. But
I try not to watch the news because then I see what's happening over there, and it makes me feel a little bad for you guys over there. I will be honest.
Yeah, probably not too bad, right?
Yeah.
So we really haven't met, but I've been interested in interviewing you and about your family's business because I saw some great stories last year about, I think, 50 plus years your family has been in the business, and so that attracted me. Plus, I've seen a lot of activity in San Pedro, and I see you guys are actively involved there. So it was great that I was able to connect, and you're willing to do this. So I really appreciate you spending time with us to talk about all that good stuff that you guys are doing out there.
Yeah, no, I love what you're doing, and this platform you have too. I think this is an awesome way to, like you said, keep our traditions and our stories alive and have some place where this is all recorded. So I appreciate you doing this.
I appreciate that, Peter. Thank you. So there's three parts for new people listening for the first time. We have the first part where we dive into your family heritage, your roots, as much as you want to share and as far back as you want to go. The second part is really getting into the how the business was created, how that all started, and then a lot of that we talked about the community efforts and support for a Croatian community and what all your family has done and you have done. You've done a lot. You're a busy guy. And we talked about some of the organizations you're involved in. And there's even a sports segment here, I think. I'm going to pull that out of you a little bit. But then in the end, we're going to talk about the future, Peter, what's on your horizon, the business horizon, and events coming up in the San Pedro, LA area. So let's dive into your family roots. So how did it all start?
Sure. So, my parents, I think like most of our stories they're both born in Croatia. My dad from the island of Mljet and my mom from Konavle, which is the region near Dubrovnik, in the Dubrovnik area. So, but they actually met here in America. So they didn't meet there. So they, after different things in their lives and their families coming. My dad was a merchant marine for a few years and had a family member who moved into San Francisco and to Northern California. My mom on her own and her family moved when she was, I think, 12 or 13. And they were based in Watsonville, which is a big Croatian community. And Watsonville is known as like Little Konavle. So everybody from Konavle moved to Watsonville, which is kind of like near Santa Cruz in Northern California. So they ended up meeting there. So that's kind of where their story began. Obviously, they have a lot of other history that comes along with both of their families, but they met there and got married. And then my dad had the desire to open up a travel agency. He had some experience working with some friends and kind of being mentored by some people on the East Coast, and decided to open up a travel agency in 1974. And it was called Jet and Cruise Travel. So it didn't say anything to do with Croatia. And he was open on Wilshire Boulevard. And as you can imagine, I think he just had a notepad and a telephone, I think was all he had when he first opened. And things didn't go so well, I think, in the beginning from what I heard and the stories. And finally somebody told him, Nico, what are you doing in LA? All the Croatian people are in San Pedro, not in LA. Right. So then he ended up moving down to San Pedro, and my mom and him opened their actual location in San Pedro, where we were at for 20 plus years. And so they ended up in San Pedro and became, let's say now we're at that was in 1974. So we're heading in here on 50 plus years, and today's actually his 80th birthday today. So
Oh, wow. Happy
so
birthday.
he's still at the office. My mom's still at the office. It's that traditional family business where you
Yeah.
show up to work every day, and um, it's evolved, right? I mean, it was very
Yeah.
much like an ethnic travel agency where it started off
Yeah.
where his goal was to get Croatian people back to Croatia and have a place for them to buy airline tickets. But I'm sure you've seen, and it's all over the media, and with Luka Modric in Croatia and all the stuff that
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
along with tourism, Croatia has kind of
Yeah.
blown up the last 20 years. So our agency's
Yeah.
kind of evolved now into kind of a full service agency where we're sending Americans to Croatia mostly is our business now. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
So do you guys, putting aside the travel
Yep,
business part and going back, do you guys go back often? Do you have a lot of family back there that you visit?
we
Is
do.
it,
Yeah, we go.
yeah.
My dad's now, semi-retired, so he'll stay longer periods of time.
Yeah.
But we go, I would say up until I had kids was going just about every summer. With COVID, I think there was a year we didn't go, but we are definitely a family. Growing up, all my summers were in Croatia, and so I
Lucky
would
you.
disappear from all my friends here in school, and they think I'd be gone for months, and then I would show back up when school started. So yeah, we have cousins there. We have close relations with all of them, and obviously now I have
Yeah.
kids and try to keep them connected with some of their family members and cousins out there as well too. So.
So I'm assuming you could blow me out of the water with your Croatian then.
Well,
I'm sure.
it's gotten better, I would say, over the last 10 years with working in the agency too, right? And being a lot involved with a lot of this stuff and having to deal with people in Croatia. So yeah, but yeah, I would say I speak relatively pretty well. My writing is terrible. Croatian writing just doesn't work with the English language at all. So I try to chat GBT it sometimes or something, so.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about the business a little bit more now. So it was you are right. It's like Croatia's blown up. Right? What's Steve from PBS, the
Um,
guy from Seattle.
yeah,
He's the one. Whatever his name
yeah, I
doesn't
know who you're
matter.
talking about. Well,
Are you seeing more non-Croatians coming to you, or is it a good mix, or what's that look like in the travel industry from your perspective going to Croatia?
so we're kind of, if you Google, I mean, there's really not, maybe we're one or two, maybe there's a couple more, I don't know, but I would say online presence, we're probably the number one Croatian niche travel agency, right? So
Oh,
we have people from all over the US and North America booking through us. But yeah, I would say Americans now traveling there and booking packages, going on cruises, going on tours. That's probably the biggest part of our business. The segment of just selling airline tickets to somebody who's Croatian to go there, that part has kind of shrunk over the years now with the internet and things,
mm,
but we still very much have pretty favorable rates for Croatia. So we do sell airline tickets, and then if they need to rent a car or whatever. But what I think I enjoy most about our job is, or what we do is, we have so many second and third, fourth generation who have never been, and now their grandparents or their parents are taking them back there. So
mhm,
those are always fun trips for me to plan because they include a little bit of going to the place where their family's from, but then also kind of touring Croatia. And for most of these, let's say American Croatian kids that are born in
yeah,
America but have Croatian descent, I mean, those are like life changing trips for them because they get to see where their family's from, these houses, these
yeah,
addresses, these stone villages. I mean, so that's been a big part. I will say a lot of family trips, family reunions, people chartering boats with 20, 30 people that are all together and kind of experience the Croatian coastline or whatever. So yeah.
yeah, pretty exciting. So you had, I believe, if I get this right, you had a hand in the creation of kind of the Birthright program at
Yeah.
some early formation. Is that correct? Is that was the seeing that couple generations wanting to go back? Was that your inspiration, or how did that come
Yeah,
about?
well, I mean, this will probably kick off later on into like ACAP, and we'll talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But that came from ACAP, and there was a gentleman by the name of Boris Village who's still involved very much with the board there. And I think the idea was to create a birthright program. And with me being in the travel industry, I think they brought me in for a bit of just kind of knowledge and background on how that can all logistically work. So on the
Uh
initial
huh.
stages, I was kind of involved with putting the initial program together, but then from there it grew very much. And I had to step away a little bit in that role just because of having my own children and being able to take on
Wow.
another side job like that of running that. But I'm so happy to see what that's developed into. And every year, ACAP is able to send 30 to 40 kids there from all over the world that have Croatian descent. I mean, and
Yeah.
if you've seen their itinerary, it's unbelievable the things that they get to experience and where they go and the doors that get opened because now the government's involved with it, and it's very much um, this way to reconnect this younger generation. And you never know. I think some of them end up staying. A couple of them have stayed and got jobs or went to college. So I think the whole point is just to kind of keep the door open for all of them to show what's still in Croatia for them if they would like. You know.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So do you see, and because you talked about the niche part of the trade, it's specific to Croatia, but you mentioned working with the consulate and the embassy for people that want to sign up for citizenship.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of activity there still or
Yeah.
growing? What's your sense there?
I mean, they are slammed. I will tell you. We speak a lot with at least with the LA consulate here and the consul general Renee Paya, who's been phenomenal since she's been in her role. Um, they're overloaded with the amount of applications that they're getting for people who want to become Croatian, and obviously that increased quite a bit when they became part of the EU because obviously now with the Croatian passport you can live anywhere and work anywhere in the EU. So um, our agency kind of found we always did it, but I will say we now kind of have a specific people who just do that at our company, and we work closely
Okay.
with the consulate, do all the translations of birth certificates, marriage certificates, the application preparation in the sense of getting them ready to then submit their application to the consulate. But the number of people applying for that is unbelievable. I mean, I look at it more like as a small business mindset, and I will tell you when Plenković came to San Pedro, I actually
Yeah.
one of the comments he asked me, we had a meeting with him, and how can we improve? I thought my small business mind or cap went on and said, there's revenue to be made from the applications that they can submit, but they can't process any more than what they do. There's only a certain number of people working here, and the turnaround time on getting your application accepted or reviews can be up to 2 years sometimes.
Oh, wow.
But there's fees and things like that. So you look at it almost like a revenue generator for the country if they were able to maybe streamline the process a little bit to get responses back and people moved a little bit quicker. I think in the end that could lead to. I think you've probably seen and heard Croatia has a declining population in Croatia,
Yeah.
and maybe it
Yeah.
would obviously get some people back there sooner if they were able to get citizenship sooner and maybe possibly living in, the what do they call it, the online nomad or the working nomad who can work from there
Yeah.
but uh
Yeah.
be American or so forth. So anyway, that part of the business has grown quite a bit too as well. So
Mm. Do you see the business branching out in different directions then, or is that your guys are kind of stable? You got enough on your plate?
yeah, I think it's, you always think about could you do more, and but then I'm always concerned about possibly losing out on quality and customer service when you start to
Yeah.
get too big. And I think, Croatia still tourist wise is still very much seasonal, right? We'll be very busy for 6 months, kind of like the Croatian people. They work really hard for 6 months, and then for 6 months they don't do much. I mean, it's kind of our season starts like in January until June or July once people have already started to travel. But
Yeah.
then once August hits, everybody's kind of home. So then from August to December, it's a little slower, I would say. So, I think if Croatia became more of a year-round destination, there would be a reason to possibly expand. But it's very much manageable what we're able to do in our company at this point. So
Excellent. And you said your dad's semi-retired, and I think you said your mom's still working, so
she
they're both
is.
keeping an eye on you guys, right?
She is. She is your typical Croatian mom, who the first one at the office and the last one to leave every day. So I don't think that'll ever change. It's in her blood, right? So I think we all know those Croatian women in our life.
We
So
yeah, we do,
yeah,
and we appreciate them.
for sure.
So yeah. So let's dive into all the good work you guys are doing out there. I think you were president of Croatian-American Club. You're part of the Libertas Foundation. I think your family was part of starting ACAP. There's lots going on in and around the community. So, how did you first get involved? Was it just natural because your family was doing a lot of this? Was there a moment in time that you said, I want to really get involved? what was your inspiration, or were you driven like you're going to get involved, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it kind of fell on our lap. I mean, my parents are very much involved, and I've always been. And I think with having a Croatian business in town, um, our location was almost like an information source for people for many years. And
Mm.
at some point back in the 70s and 80s, my parents and 90s, they had a store where they sold Croatian newspapers and coffee and things. So I'd always felt like my dad and mom really instilled in my sisters and I to very much be involved, whether that was forced or not forced, but
Uh-huh.
they
Yeah.
were involved and it kind of made us. So, there's part of, you know, that obviously branched off for me and led into other opportunities and kind of roles that I kind of have grown into. But the point is it kind of goes along hand in hand with our company, and we very much try to
Mm.
support all the local charities that are Croatian based in our area. And then, the ACAP and Libertas Foundation is something that my parents and the people from Dubrovnik of the area started back when the war started. So that was kind of a nonprofit that started to help the Dubrovnik region during the war and send money and food and containers and medicine. And then since that, obviously the war is no longer going on. So that kind of has
Yeah.
now morphed into a fundraiser that happens every year, kind of like a gala type of dinner where we're able to send, let's call it between 10 and $15,000 scholars, $1,000 scholarships to
Oh
15 or
wow.
10 people um, who are going to trade schools in Dubrovnik. And I think over time we've sent over $350,000 in scholarships over the last 15 to 20
Wow.
years. So
Congratulations to you
yeah, so
guys.
it's been kind of a nice way to stay connected and kind of I guess even show our kids and all of our local community that we're still able to assist people out there and do it the right way.
Yeah. Did you guys do cola? As growing up, were you
Yeah.
dancing and singing? Yeah,
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 yeah, just
yeah.
like every other community, we have it here as well too. So we did that, and yeah, it's definitely much a part of the community for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. And so again, you're heavily involved. We mentioned ACAP a couple times. You're on the
Yeah,
board there, and so talk a little bit about your experience with ACAP and where you see some good stuff going there.
yeah. I mean, I got to tell you, I've seen a lot of organizations kind of come and go over time or transition over time, but I mean, when you look at the list of people and the professions of the individuals in ACAP, I mean, you have to be amazed by the
Yeah,
success and the level of professionalism that some of these people have got to. Um, it's not a huge community, right? And I think there's always ways to grow. But when you can look at that database and within one or two phone calls, you can get to the head doctor of the
yeah,
Cleveland Clinic, or you can
yeah,
get to the head of this bank and their Croatian last name. And I will tell you that networking group, um, it's so open. It's so the dialogue is so good. The message is so good. I've been a big fan of going to all their conferences that they have every year, and I mean, speakers that I mean, it's really it's unlike any other Croatian organizations that I know of in the world.
hmm
So I'm happy to be a part of it. I've been on the executive board. This is the second year now, but I'm also kind of running the LA chapter with a few other individuals here, and it's been phenomenal. I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm happy that there's something bigger, kind of like it's, it's the Croatian-American Club of America is how I kind of look
yeah,
at it, right? Like on today's
yeah,
modern level, it's really like a
yeah,
networking and professional level. So
yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna uh, digress just a little bit.
sure.
You were, and kudos to you, recognized by NFCA in 2017 as one of the 40 under 40. So that goes. There's a lot of great names and talent
Yeah.
out there, and it was good that they recognized you at that time period. Um, Also, you played a little soccer, a little not American football, but national football, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So Cal State, high school, Cal State,
yeah.
and I think you did a little bit of semi-pro, U.S. and Croatia. Did I get that right?
Yeah. So that was, when I saw the career was coming to an end, my dad said, "Let's get back to work and come back to." So, but yeah, I went to to college here on a soccer scholarship and played for 4 years, which was great.
Uh,
Helped me get into college. I didn't have the greatest grades, so that was always a benefit. And then
yeah.
once I was done, I tried out here in the MLS for a team or two, and then I ended up in Croatia. I'm playing in Dubrovnik for their kind of semi-professional team for 6 months, and then in Zadar and Zagreb for some time. So it was a
Oh,
great experience. I still have friends that I played with there, and sometimes I wish I think I stopped a little too early. That I probably should have tried a little bit longer, but
uh-huh.
I'm not by no means have no regrets with the opportunity and the experience. It was a
Yeah.
once in a lifetime type of thing. So.
And you gave back to your your alma mater. I think you were 8 years high school soccer coach at San Pedro. Is that
I
correct?
did, yeah. So when I came back, I still wanted to be involved with soccer, and the head coaching job kind of fell on my lap because the other coach who was there previously was leaving. So then I became
Uh,
the head coach at like 24 years old or something like that,
uh-huh.
and did it for 8 years. And my last year, I told my wife, whenever we have our first kid, is when I'm going to stop because there's no way I can coach 16 to 18-year-old boys and have a child at the same time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
too much, right? So on my last year, we ended up winning the LA City Championship in
Oh
the
wow,
division we were
pretty
playing.
cool.
So it's kind of a great way to go out, finish it off. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's really cool. You'll be back in coaching when your kids get a little bit
I'm
bigger. You're
coaching
gonna,
girls soccer now. It's a little different
yeah.
than high
See,
school boys, but
yeah,
my language has to change a little bit, but it's okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And on top of all of that, you also have your realtor's license, and you're well known in the real estate, I think, area out there as well, right?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. When I was in college, I obviously knew my parents had a very successful business and had been around, but that was in '04, '05, '06, and I feel like internet travel was taking off at that point. And to be
Yeah.
honest, I just thought that the travel industry could just be extinct within 5 years. So,
Really?
yeah, I just didn't think that there would be actual travel agencies and travel agents. I thought everybody my age and everybody's just going to do it themselves online. So I kind of was
Uh-huh.
thinking of an alternative profession to get into. So I kind of coupled of real estate and was kind of doing that simultaneously as I finished college and soccer and started doing the travel business and that at the same time, kind of thinking as this is my backup plan if Adriatic Travel ever does close. Well,
Yeah.
it didn't close, and now we're actually busier than we ever are. And at the same time, my real estate business grew. So I kind of have these two businesses moving together. And, obviously being in the Croatian community, a lot of my real estate clients, but also Croatian people in the area who have trusted my parents and our family for 40, 50 years. So it was a
Yeah.
great way to, I wouldn't say cross market, but a lot of my clients are people who I sell a trip to who would need to sell a house, right? So I mean, it's just
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I think it's all a relationship base, and we've been around and have built so much trust with people, and that's the main thing. I think my dad and mom always kind of preach to us is the customers first, right? And make sure as long as you do the right thing and make the right honest decision, then people can never doubt you
Yeah.
or say you did something wrong. And that's kind of the way I look at running both of those
Yeah.
companies. So.
So just curious, like how big of a group is it? I'm assuming down to a single person wants to go travel, but how big of a group could you guys handle? And is it like everything, like
Yeah.
hotel, flight, travel? Do you do soup to nuts or?
Yeah, everything. I mean, I will tell you, we've had university groups of 40 to 50 people. Sometimes if it's two buses, we'll have 80 people going together. We do a
Oh
lot of
wow,
sporting teams, water polo tours that are 20 to 40 people. So it can range, right? And then we can handle everything from start. We are kind of a full service agency where we're able to issue the airline tickets here at our office. We have contracts with Lufthansa and some of the other airline carriers. So we'll do the transfers, the drivers, the guides,
huh,
any hotels that are included, boats, cruises, and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say anywhere from let's call it from 2 to 50 people is really where it ranges to. So
huh. That's pretty good.
mhm.
Good for you guys. Well, you got some exciting things, I think, coming up.
Yeah,
So let's talk about those. I know we talked about in the fall, ACAP's got conference in Seattle, but also in specific in your area, we want to talk about World Cup activities and then LA 28. So however you want to go through this. There's a lot on your plate still.
I guess
I don't know how you do it. Dude. I mean, seriously.
It's a juggling act, I will say for sure. And it's kind of, I do my best to keep my email as organized as possible. I'd say that helps me. My Google Calendar is very important to my daily survival, I would say, as far as just keeping everything there. But um, kind of leading into this summer, the World Cup is obviously coming to America. So, the Croatian centers, like what you have in your area and all over the US, are going to have the games. When Croatia made the final in Russia, um, is it Russia the last one? Yeah, the last final. We, you don't find out that they're making the final until the semifinal, which was 3 days before. Well,
Yeah.
I think I was the president of the Croatian-American club at that time, I believe, and they won the semifinal. And everyone's cheering, and I'm grabbing my head, thinking, "How the hell am I going to organize all of this in 3 days?" Right? And everyone says you're going to close the street, right? Well, and you can't just close a street in LA. Like there's a whole process that goes along with it. So we pulled off a unbelievable thing by shutting down the street and bringing in like a 50-foot jumbotron in front of this
Oh, wow.
hall, and then the game's delayed 3 seconds outside from inside. So you can imagine the stress of like that. Nobody notices these things except me and a couple guys, right? So, but anyway, the World Cup will be a great experience, and obviously all the Croatian centers are fantastic places around the U.S. and Canada to watch this.
Yeah.
I'm planning on going to a couple of the games, so that will probably be a whole different experience. But yeah,
And you are the chair. Sorry, you are the chairman of the LA committee, correct?
for ACAP, but not the Croatian. The Croatian-American Club is it's the Croatian Center here in San Pedro. ACAP doesn't have a physical location. We just kind of have events and things that go on.
Sorry. For the World Cup activities, are you?
No, so that's for LA 28. What I was going to get to is for the LA 28 Olympics. This is a whole thing that I just learned about a year ago, but whenever there's an Olympics, there's what's called a house, right? So it's not a house where these players sleep or the media sleeps, but it's actually like a gathering location, a convention center. Like the US in Paris had 4 floors of this hotel where it was like people paid $500 a ticket to go in there. It's all you can eat and all you can drink and food and clothes and media. The Croatia House is in our terms in San Pedro. What happened was we have a huge Croatian community. Our councilman is Tim McCosker here for our area, very much connected and supporting of the Croatian community. So he was going to Croatia. So it had come out that LA is looking for cities to host these countries. And what it is they're trying to get various cities around LA to kind of be meeting points or focal points so that everybody's not all over the place. And I think it helps keep fans together, keeps media together, and so forth. So he said, let's make San Pedro the Croatia House. So he went out into Croatia for other things as well, but ended up signing a contract with the Croatian Olympic Organization that San Pedro would be the Croatia House. So obviously he came back and spoke to a few of us and said, okay, what now? And none of us knew what that meant and what to do. So we ended up forming a committee, and our committee is very strong. We have people with the city, people with the Port of LA, in all different aspects, and some local advocates of the Croatian community. And the idea is we're going to create, something different than that's ever been done, because most of the time these are done in convention or ballrooms at hotels. Ours is going to be outside, right? So we're going to take advantage of being out on the water. San Pedro is in a huge reconstruction, redevelopment stage of doing what's called West Harbor, which is a brand new promenade with restaurants and cafes and concert areas that are going to be open, I think, this summer. So the idea is we're going to have an open air pavilion for the entire duration, one day before the Olympics starts, one day after it, where it's going to be a place where Croatian companies can kind of advertise, people who want to come watch games. There'll be games going on all day. There'll be Croatian food and drinks. We're going to kind of make it like a full cultural type of month with a schedule and maybe even Croatian singers that would come. So obviously a ton of planning. We're 2 years in advance. We're kind of at the point of nailing down where that location is going to specifically be on the water. But I mean, we have a fantastic group of people who are working together, like I said, in government, local, and all these type of things, that we're going to have something pretty unique, I think, for the LA 28 Olympics. So, and then nobody wanted the job as the chairman. So then I got assigned, Peter, you're going to be the chair. I said, great. And then I came home, my wife said, another job. Oh, this is funny how this is going to look. So when the councilman, the councilman said, Peter, you're going to be the chair. I mean, how do you say no, right? I mean, it's
Right.
kind of, okay, I guess.
Do you think there'll be like I'm assuming like food stalls, so maybe some javapas, some beer
Yeah.
flowing,
So,
maybe some
yeah,
drinks? Yeah.
exactly. So it's going to
Yeah.
be, again, we don't know all the details. I will say part of the Croatian Olympic organization is coming out in July of this year because they want to see how San Pedro hosts the World Cup final, because the San Pedro and West Harbor, this location, was named one of two locations in all of LA that's going to be a viewing center for the finals of the World Cup. So they
Nice.
want to come and see how that kind of looks and operates. And
Uh,
then we're going to kind of, let's say, mimic some of the things that we think are good and not, and kind of make almost like a fan zone per se for 30 days is what our goal is, you know?
yeah. Pretty fun. A lot of work, but I'm sure it's going to be great. It's going to be great, man.
Well, you know, I
Y-
think the Olympics kind of always has a special thing for a lot of people. And we looked at it like, how can we engage like different parts of San Pedro? But, you know, there's something special about San Pedro in general and the big history of Croatian community, and, you know, how this
Yeah.
all started, you know, in the 20s and 30s, being just a fishing town and really everybody coming just for fishing. And then that's evolved into different industries. And, but you know, they say, you know, this isn't on record, but off record, I think that San Pedro has, let's say, 100,000 people living in it, or residents, and that a third of them are of Croatian descent. So whether
Wow,
that's
that's
second,
amazing.
third, or fourth, so it's a pretty large concentration in one, let's say, mile radius, you know, or a couple mile
Yeah.
radius. So,
Yeah, pretty neat. Congrats to you guys, and
yeah.
we got to get out there. I told my wife we got to get out. She's been to LA a couple times. I haven't been at all, and now we know there's a huge Croatian contingency
The
out there.
problem is
So,
that's in the summer, and I'm sure you want to get away in the winter, right? That would be the nice time would be to come now.
well, we'll figure it out. We'll whatever. We'll figure it out. We just want to get out. We want to get out to some because there's some other events coming up.
Yeah,
Because I said there, you just had one. I think a huge extravaganza right in the
yeah.
area.
So that's put on by the St. Anthony's, which is the in downtown LA. There's the St. Anthony's Croatian Center and Church,
Mm,
and they have a Colo school and a children's school that is very successful and very has tons of kids in it. So for the last, I want to say how many years, but let's say 15 years, they put on what's the Croatian Extravaganza, which is Colo groups from all over North America come to LA for that weekend, and they put on a really nice performance, followed by, of course, a party and a concert and so
yeah,
forth. So that was a couple weeks ago, and then the next big event we had is Memorial Day in San Pedro, which is the Croatian Independence Day on a Sunday of Memorial Day, and we shut down the street like what we did for the World Cup, and we have a live band and lamb and chalapchichi and beer and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like your classic street party that happens Memorial Day
yeah,
weekend. So
yeah. Oh, see, there's a lot to do out there. We got.
yeah, yeah,
Doesn't matter whether it's hot or not. We got to get
no,
out. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
we got to get out. So. Hey, Peter, it's been fantastic talking to you. You guys are doing a lot of great. You yourself are doing a lot of great work, and your family as well. And yeah, I'm sure you have extended family out there
yeah.
participating in a lot of these activities too. I'm sure, right?
Yeah, my wife's a big advocate and supporter of all of my adventures, and sometimes thinks I'm crazy as well too. But of course, very much a huge help and supporter. And I got two young daughters now who also I try to keep involved. And my sisters obviously are have been involved with the business and doing other things professionally, but still very much a family business. So there's constant dialogue about everything that we're doing. But you know, I think the main
Yeah,
thing is kind of like what you're doing with this portal and this channel is just continue to connect people. And you know, if I can be a source to anybody who's Croatian who needs something in LA or San Pedro, like kind of like how my parents were 40 years ago, where people would come to the office to get newspapers or get information. I feel like our doors are always open as an outlet and an information place to kind of help anyone come into this region or area who need help. And I know that every city in the US and North America kind of has those people and those individuals. So I think that's what makes us unique, and I think us helping each other really is kind of the future of keeping us all together, right? So that's kind
yeah,
of that's and ACAP again. Well, I'll add is a great source of information for younger generation of people who are business professionals or whatever, just want to network with people. I think it's a
yeah.
great online presence of doing that. So
Yeah, and anybody wants to get involved, October is the next huge
Yeah,
ACAP conference
Seattle.
up in Seattle. Yeah,
Seattle, yeah, that'll
yeah,
be a great one for sure. First time in Seattle too. So
yeah, yeah. So, Peter, again, just really want to thank you for taking time talking to us today. A lot of great stories there, a lot of great history, and you guys are doing a terrific job. So, thank you
thank you.
for everything you're doing for us, the Croatian community, locally and nationally. It's been great.
I appreciate that. Thanks so much for the time and the opportunity to film this with you. It's been great.
Yeah. So I'm going to wrap up now. It's our traditional exit. And we just want to say thank you, point of file, to our CRO-AM followers for tuning in, and to Filthy 46 Productions for their editing and production expertise. So until next time, Živeli Hrvati, veliki poz I Bog. If you have appreciated this interview or past interviews, or if you know of someone that we should interview, please feel free to reach out to us via email at info@CRO-AMConnections.com. You can listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple, and other podcast platforms, along with watching us on our YouTube channel or following us on Facebook and Instagram at CRO-AM Connections. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, please support all local and non-local Croatian-American events, which you can find on our mobile app. Thanks and appreciation to Peter Hazdovac for being our guest and for all the great picks, Adriatic Travel, Filthy 46 Productions, and as always, our CRO-AM followers.
Follow.